knew that you were going to kiss me today, but I didn't know I was going to kiss you back.
Rather liked the view from the terrace. And then I saw you, and I suddenly liked the view even more.
And you drove me to it. You turned your back on me just as you did on Alfred. I needed love.
Your wife, she's lovelier than I thought she'd be. And you're still with her, aren't you?
We live under the same roof. That's all.
My name is Alfred Eaton. Alfred Eaton, you got that? Now, you go near my mother again, I'll kill you.
I've had a dozen girls since you left me, but they've all been you, Mary.
Now, you flaunted your affair publicly. I don't like having a wife thumb her nose at me and think she can get away with it.
Well, I don't like having a husband who isn't a husband.
One evening, my whole life seemed to be changing. Just seeing you.
Yes, she has something I don't have. Niceness. But then I have something she hasn't got.
Me.
No. Honesty and guts.
More than I ever thought it was possible to love anybody.
We might have the same enjoyable kind of relationship that a lot of our married friends have.
Keep your eye on Danny Ocean. He's the quiet guy in the middle of it all. He's the guy with the big idea. He's calling a summit meeting of his own, and it's going to be a summit to top them all. Now, all he needs are 11 men, like, say, 11 ex-paratroopers from his old outfit. And you'd be amazed where you can find an ex-paratrooper these days. You look in a bar, and there's Harmon playing alcoholic piano. Or you turn up DSM winner Josh in a fleet of trash trucks. Jimmy Foster is sure to be wherever there's the most of anything. A guy like Bergdorf's been playing some very long odds. And Mushy's sticking close to the money. But when Danny called, they came. And what they heard was a plan of independent initiative and individual enterprise to stir the spirit of every swinging citizen.
Lights! Lights!
How'd it come off?
Like a charm.
Same here. Fantastic.
Oh, Danny, what a prize you are. The only husband in the world who'd proposition his own wife.
Well, I married you once and it didn't work out too well, so what's wrong with a little hey-hey?
Get her out of here.
Hey, give me a little kiss.
Sound idea. It's constructive.
You
yeah.
wait right there, and I'll be there in a minute.
I'll wait for you.
Hello, Sam. How are you?
Oh, same as always. I move, I breathe. I seem to feel the thrill of life along the keel.
You sound like a ferry boat.
I'm not a ferry boat. I'm a very manly sloop. Wherever I go, people stare at me in dumb admiration.
Yeah, what happens when they speak? What's so funny?
I knew this color would come in handy one day.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
How do you get the stuff off?
Well, what I usually...
Ingredient number one, a very warm, very wonderful story about a boy, a girl, and a very special kind of problem.
Did you hear what I said, Miss Kubelik? I absolutely adore you.
Shut up and deal.
Ingredient number two, a brilliant cast. Jack Lemmon in a delightful role which gives full rein to Jack's amazing versatility. Shirley MacLaine, whose glowing warmth lights up the screen like a Christmas tree. Fred MacMurray. This is a Fred MacMurray you've never seen before.
You know, you see a girl a couple of times a week just for laughs, and right away they think you're going to divorce your wife. I ask you, is that fair?
No, sir, it's very unfair, especially to your wife.
Yeah.
Ingredient number three, Billy Wilder. There's nothing quite like that Billy Wilder, some like it hot kind of laughter.
Are we dressing for dinner?
You know, just come as you are.
Hey, you're pretty good with that racket.
You should see my backhand. Wait till you see me serve the meatballs.
Mildred, he's at it again.
Only the bold and candid pen of John O'Hara can tell her story. Only Elizabeth Taylor can live it.
I've had more fun in the back seat of a '39 Ford than I could ever have in the vault of the Chase National Bank.
This is it, the brawling Wan Chai district of Hong Kong. Its streets, its bars, its strange places, and stranger moralities. This is the world of Susie Wong, a provocative best-selling novel, and now filmed where the story takes place, a motion picture of international interest. starring William Holden, who stepped into the incredible life of the Orient and into the world of the bewitching Wan-Chai girl, Susie Wong.
You see the girl sitting over there at the bar, the one with the red dress?
Yes, Susie Wong. She my best friend. Most popular girl in bar. She got sex appeal.
Okay, I pose for you.
Good. Right over here.
Take clothes off.
No, I've never tried nudes.
Good time to try.
Oh, you better take shirt off, Susie. Maybe he not like.
He can't you, he beat you.
Poof! He say to me, Susie, I'm crazy mad about you. You do anything you want, for goodness sake.
She very pretty girl. She virgin?
Well, if you'll wait a minute, I'll ask.
Never mind. You'll find out.
Susie, what are you doing here?
You told me to wait.
I told you not to wait. Susie's my model, you see.
Does she just wait around until the mood strikes you?
I'll get your pajamas. You want tops or bottoms tonight?
This is the irrepressible Susie Wong, whose world will soon be yours in this exciting motion picture. A world in which she has to fight just to stay alive.
He's the only man in my life I've ever wanted. If I have to get in the way she did, I'll do it.
Robert, why you not let me be your permanent girlfriend?
Oh, stop it, Susie. We've been all through that. I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but I've had my share of women and all the trouble that goes with it.
That's not good reason, Robert.
All right, then, I can't accept your way of life. I can't have you giving me your love on the days that you're free. Sergeant, let us through. There's not a chance. Who's in charge?
They were shipwrecked on a jagged, unknown reef.
Have mercy.
They were cast adrift in an angry, uncharted sea.
Sharks! Sharks!
They were flung ashore on a strange, lost island that teemed with 1,000 perilous dangers. Yet together, with a quiet kind of daring and a proud kind of courage, the Swiss Family Robinson transformed this island jungle into an exciting tropical paradise.
The world is full of nice, ordinary little people who live in nice, ordinary little houses on the ground. But didn't you ever dream of having a house up on a treetop?
Don't tell me you pulled us to ring for the butler.
You said that someday, if you could have your wish, you'd sleep each night so you could see the stars.
I tell you where I'd really like to be. Walking down the Night-a-Gas, like on a Sunday after church. And all the girls stroll past, all dressed up.
Do you think when we get to New Guinea, if we ever do, there'll be any girls our age?
By the time we get to New Guinea, we won't care what age they are.
You know those coconut bombs? You don't have to worry about them. They work right well.
want to shoot you, Ernst. Now put that down.
I'll teach him to shoot at me. It was my fault. The gun went off. She didn't mean to fire.
I don't care. I could have been... What did you say? She didn't... It's a girl.
Here in Walt Disney's production of Swiss Family Robinson is all the excitement you could ever wish for in a motion picture. Here is all the fun you've ever dreamed of in the most hilarious race that's ever been run.
Quick, motherfucker! Good boy, Lightning! Hey! Dave, let me get on, Clementine. Give me a chance.
Come on, Rocky, get the whip.
Come on, Lightning! Out of my way!
Out of the way, Clementine!
Come on.
Here is all the action you ever hoped to see on the screen as the courageous Swiss family is forced to defend the home they had carved out of the wilderness.
Ernst?
Hey! Bill!
Otto Preminger presents Exodus. The biggest bestseller since Gone with the Wind. Read by more than 50 million around the world. Now on the screen. An epic of our time. The Birth of a Nation. With Paul Newman as Harry Benkanan. Eva Marie Saint as Kitty Fremont. Ralph Richardson as General Sutherland. Peter Lawford as Major Caldwell. Lee J. Cobb as Barack Benkanan. Sal Mineo as Dub Lando. John Derek as Taha. And introducing Jill Haworth as Karen. Every scene filmed where it actually took place, on the island of Cyprus and in Israel.
I'm 15 years old now, Dove. I'm not little anymore.
You shouldn't have come here in the first place.
But, Dove, you're always fighting, and you're always in a place where you might be killed. And if anything should happen to you before I told you how much I love you, I just wouldn't want to live anymore. Please love me, Dove. I'm not afraid.
Life magazine says Otto Preminger's film Exodus goes beyond the book as a tale told in proud passion.
I will not take him back to Carolus. He'll go to Palestine with me. Or right here on the ship we will die together.
The New York Times says the best blockbuster of the year. Dazzling, eye-filling, nerve-tingling, rips the heart.
You can't fight the whole British Empire with 600 people. It isn't possible.
How many Minutemen did you have at Concord the day they fired the shot heard around the world?
I don't know.
77.
Time magazine says a terrific show. A serious, expert, frightening, and inspiring thriller.
You heard what I said! Fight! Not beg! Fight!
Exodus. The Chicago Tribune says a tremendous picture. The Los Angeles Examiner says terrific impact and fury. The Dallas Herald says a superb candidate for the Hall of Screen Greats. The Boston Traveler says magnificent. The Miami Beach Sun says stands head and shoulders above all others. The Cleveland Plain Dealer says one of the great films of all time. Exodus.
Good afternoon. Here we have a quiet little motel, tucked away off the main highway, and as you see, perfectly harmless looking, when in fact, it has now become known as the scene of the crime. This motel also has, as an adjunct, an old house, which is, if I may say so, a little more sinister looking, less innocent than the motel itself. And in this house, the most dire, horrible events took place. I think we can go inside because the place is up for sale, although I don't know who's going to buy it now. In that window on the second floor, the single one in front, that's where the woman was first seen. Let's go inside. You see, even in daylight, this place still looks a bit sinister. Now, it was at the top of these stairs that the second murder took place. She came out of the door there and met the victim at the top. Of course, in a flash, there was the knife, and in no time, the victim tumbled and fell with a horrible crash. I think the back broke immediately. It hit the floor. It's difficult to describe the way that the twisting of the well, I won't dwell upon it. Come upstairs. Of course, the victim, or should I say victims, hadn't any conception as to the type of people they would be confronted with in this house, especially the woman. She was the weirdest and the most... Well, let's go into her bedroom. Here's the woman's room, still beautifully preserved. And the imprint of her figure on the bed where she used to lay. I think some of her clothes are still in this wardrobe. This was the son's room, but we won't go in there because his favorite spot was the little parlor behind his office in the motel. Let's go down there. This young man, you had to feel sorry for him. After all, being dominated by an almost maniacal woman was enough to drive anyone to the extreme of, well, let's go in. I suppose you'd call this his hideaway. His hobby, as you see, was taxidermy. Crow here, an owl there. Now, an important scene took place in this room. There was a private supper here. And, oh, by the way, this picture has great significance because, let's go along to cabin number 1. I want to show you something there. All tidied up. The bathroom. Well, they've cleaned all this up now. Big difference. You should have seen the blood. The whole place was, well, it's too horrible to describe. Dreadful. And I'll tell you, there's a very important clue was found here. Down there. Well, the murderer, you see, crept in here. Very slowly, of course, the shower was on, there was no sound. And,
destroyed by Spartacus.
Spartacus, a motion picture unequaled in the entire history of filmmaking, unlikely ever to be surpassed in the tenderness and beauty of its love story. Nothing was spared to make Spartacus the superb achievement it is. Neither time, nor money, nor talent. For in Spartacus, you will see the finest cast ever assembled, relive history's most exciting and inspiring drama. Starring Kirk Douglas as Spartacus, slave, gladiator, invincible fighter. Laurence Olivier as Crassus, symbol of Rome's majesty and might.
I'm not after glory. I'm after Spartacus.
Gene Simmons as the slave Erinia, whose body was bought and sold, but whose love enveloped Spartacus with a radiance few men have known.
I love you.
Charles Laughton as Gracchus, the leader of the Roman Senate. Peter Ustinov as Batiatus, shrewd and devious dealer in human flesh. John Gavin as Julius Caesar, ambitious staff officer. And Tony Curtis as Antoninus, who loved Spartacus like a brother. In the powerful story of the gladiator rebel who sprang from slavery to challenge the awesome might of imperial Rome.
The symbol of the Senate, all the power of Rome.
I imagine a God for slaves. And I pray.
What do you pray for?
I pray for a son who'll be born free.
Thanks for watching our videos. We work hard to make sure you keep coming back for the content we produce. And if you are not a subscriber yet, click here and you'll be notified whenever a new video goes public.